double the size. I've been here for 30 years. 37 of them are permanently. So I know the transition and what's happening because I can see it. And I guess you all know too. But there's a new facet that's been brought into the picture. And that is sport cars. That is motorcycles. Okay, and the Hard Creek Road is very narrow. And each side of Hard Creek Road, it's in the middle of 3 Mile Harbor Road and Springs Fireplace. Both those roads are 30 miles an hour. My road, which is a side road, is 35. Something doesn't make sense there. I know it's hard to keep up with the changes to our community, but I see danger in what's happening there, and I hope I'm wrong with that, but something has to be done with that. And I see a lot of fallacies, and I'm not going to go into it. I just want Hard Creek Road taken care of right now. Thank you for your time. I wish we could do something about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you coming in and give us your comments. And we'll go back to the phones. Were there any new callers that we might need to check in to see if they were calling in about this hearing? Jason?
Yes, there is one additional caller. I will unmute them right now. Hello, caller 8764.
Good afternoon, Town Board. This is Dave Buda. First, I want to let LTV know that there was a delay in the YouTube feed for a couple of minutes. I was able to. It's working now, but there may have been some people that were on hold that were frustrated because it didn't start at the beginning of the meeting. But anyway, I'm on. I'm watching you. I'm listening to you and talking to you. On this matter, I don't object to the request, but I do have some comments that I think are very significant. But first, I would like to ask Councilwoman Burke-Gonzalez if she could just explain how this request came about. Did it come about from the police? Did it come about from a resident? Did it come about from the Spring Citizens Advisory Committee? I'm just wondering what the process is for how speed limits are considered for reevaluation, the posting of speed limits.
It came from a resident.
Okay, which is fine. What I did was, since this is within Springs, and I guess in addition to a resident, it also came from a mother turkey, right, David? Who posted a sign, be careful, drive like your turkey lives here
drive like
on
your
Hot
turkey
Creek
lives
Road,
here.
which what I found when I heard this, I took a look at the town code, the section that Mr. Jilnicki cited when he spoke before you at a recent work session, and I took a comprehensive review of the major roads in the Springs. All of Hog Creek Road, all of 3 Mile Harbor, Hog Creek Road itself, and Springs Fireplace Road. And to my astonishment, the bigger problem, the more dangerous problem, the one that should have been addressed either simultaneously or first, is the speed posting of 35 miles an hour for a 2.5-mile distance on 3 Mile Harbor Road, starting just north of Copisi's Road, which is the end of the county jurisdiction, and going all the way up to that sharp hairpin turn, the one where there was a fatality. And I found that there are at least 6 posted, well, the speed limit is 35, not 30. So you should know that. The police should know that. Someone is going around posting speed limit signs not in accordance with the town code. There are only 3 places that the town code would suggest that on town roads the speed limit should be other than 30 miles an hour, and those are in parts of the state highway in Amagansett. So first I'd like to bring to your attention the fact that the town police, which must have a traffic safety officer, the highway department, and the town board needs to do a comprehensive review of all of the, let's call them arterial roads, non-residential, non-neighborhood roads in town to see what the postings are, because they don't correspond in many instances with the town code. So getting back to 3 Mile Harbor, Hog Creek, it's narrow, it's winding. In fact, there are 6 posted safety speed warning signs where the cautionary yellow signs say that you should reduce your speed from 35 to either 30 or even 25 in 6 different locations if you count both directions. And then, of course, you come to the hairpin turn where there was a fatality, and there are numerous signs telling people to slow down to 10 miles an hour as a caution. If you're coming from the south, if you're coming up 3 Mile Harbor Road, and yet, if you're traveling on Hog Creek Road, there's only one sign, and if you enter Hog Creek Road from Kings Point Road, there's no signage of any significance warning people that there's a hairpin turn, that you should reduce the speed to 10 miles an hour. It's a short distance from Kings Point Road, but it's such a dangerous intersection, such a dangerous turn, that it should be better marked. There should be someone from the police department or the highway department that's responsible for updating the signs and making sure that they don't go for a walkabout, don't disappear. And I would like to know when you will be addressing my issue of the 2.5 miles of 3 Mile Harbor Road, which are terribly frightening for anyone who's walking or on a bicycle. We have many curves, many turns. We have signs, I call them snake warning signs, where the arrows have a snake-like shape. Roads zigzag. It's a very old road, and it's a more lethal and potentially dangerous situation than Hog Creek Road, which should also be addressed. That's a straight road, and probably there the problem is that people can get up too much speed and treat it like a raceway. So my point
David,
is
we
that
appreciate.
the town code is my town code needs to be reviewed. Why is it not being updated and followed? Who was responsible for taking a comprehensive, thorough, intelligent, rational look at speed posting signs in the town? And those are my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate your comments. Do we have any further callers on the line who may have come in?
We have one new additional caller. I will unmute them now.
Thank you.
Hello, caller 6412.
Hi, it's Rona Klopman in Amagansett. I was watching the meeting, and I'd like to back David Buddha up with the speed limits, because from the Amagansett post office going east, on the east side of that, I believe it's a state highway, it says 45 miles an hour. Going west on the other side, it says, coming from Bluff Road, it says 30 miles an hour. So there's 2 different speed limits, whether you're going east or west on the same road. So I'd like to back
thank you,
David
Rona.
Buddha
So-
up, because when I heard him.
Yeah, do you have any particular comments pertaining to the Hog Creek Road speed limit, Rona?
No, but I think there's, as David Buddha said, there should be a comprehensive look at all of the speed limits in the town, because it jarred my thinking that there's different speed limits all over town that are that just aren't comprehensive. So I'm just backing up that thought. As far as doing one thing, you really should look at it comprehensively. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Rona. Be well. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to close.
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. Carol, if you'd read the third hearing notice for today, please.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of General Municipal Law of the State of New York and the provisions of the East Hampton Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing in the Town Hall Meeting Room, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, Thursday, September 2nd at 2 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as this matter may be heard concerning the following grant to scenic conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is Ronald S. Lauder, 2002 Trust, Ronald Lauder, Managing Member. It's a scenic and conservation easement dated June 30th, 2021 at 118 Beach Lane, Waynescott, Suffolk County, Tax Map 300-202-27, and the reviewing agency is the ZBA.
Thank you, Carol. Do we have any new callers on the line?
We have no new callers on the line.
Okay, thank you, Jason. I'll entertain a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. At this point, we'll move on to the public portion of the meeting. And again, we ask that anyone calling in keep their comments to 3 minutes or less. And we'll go to the first caller.
Okay. Caller ending 2866. You are on the air.
Hello, this is Jacqueline Esposito. I live on Lincoln Avenue in the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands. I'm here, of course, to oppose the illegal installation of a tower in the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands, which has been designated as open and recreational space, as this board well knows. As you know, the Planning Board voted last night to include the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands and the Girl Scouts location as alternatives in a highly unorthodox move that requires the Springs Fire District to conduct an environmental analysis of the impacts of a tower on those sites, one of which, as you know, is town-owned. This seems like the town is trying to circumvent its requirements under state law to conduct its own environmental analysis at the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands. The public deserves to know whether any member of the town board communicated with planning board members about including the Crandall, Norfolk site as a potential alternative to the fire district's request. The public also deserves to know whether the town board informed the planning board of the August 2021 letter submitted by counsel for the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands residents, which outlines the town code violations and other legal defects that would stem from a tower in the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands. It is deeply concerning that the town board and now the town planning board continue to ignore the fact that a tower at the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands would violate several provisions of the town code, and the fact that the woodlands are protected as open recreation space under the urban renewal plan. I suggest you all spend some time reading the town code if you think that you can be elected officials in this town. To be clear, the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands cannot be treated as a reasonable alternative to the fire district's request under SECRA because installing a tower at Crandall would be illegal. Furthermore, it raises serious questions as to why the planning board would identify the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands as a reasonable alternative when this town board has not even met its own requirements under state law to evaluate the environmental impact of a tower at this site. Honestly, the way this town is being run and the roadblocks being put up for our fire department in Springs, costs that are being passed on to the taxpayers of Springs, is an outrage. If you're looking for reasons for our community to be inflamed, Peter, look no further than your own incompetence. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for calling, Jacqueline. Can we have the next caller, please?
Unmuting next caller. Caller ending 1551. You are on the air.
Yes, this is Karen Diamond, and I agree with what Jackie Esposito had just said about the Crandall, Norfolk Woodlands, park grounds, whatever. But I would like to just say that I wholeheartedly hope that our elected officials give the public transparency in its negotiations with the Girl Scout camp.
Thank you for calling, Karen.
Next caller. 5412. You are live.
Hi, Town Board. It's Margaret Garcetti. I just have a couple questions. I'm wondering, firstly, yes, I concur with Jackie Esposito's statement, but also to ask who is going to be negotiating with the Girl Scouts, and will it just be you, Peter, that's negotiating with the Girl Scouts, or will there be several people from the town board there as well?
Margaret, any negotiations with the Girl Scouts or American Tower or anyone else will include town board members as well as town attorneys.
Okay, and also, I'm wondering if you can answer as to why it was brought up last night at the planning meeting when it hasn't gone through the steps. I mean, why was it already brought, to that point when there's so much protocol and legal. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. It's fine.
No, I mean, I was just asking a question, and we were, I was surprised. We were all surprised to see that the town planning had put that in as an alternate site.
So I can't speak as to the actions taken by the town planning board. That is a separate entity and autonomous from the town board.
Oh, okay, very good. And then, okay, then also there was comments about Jeff Bragman inflaming this community, and I just want to be clear, as a member of this community, it was not at all Jeff Bragman that did that, but rather the posture of the town board ignoring all the legalese and all of the concerns of the citizens. And mostly, I just want to just, again, bring to your attention that I think, listen, let's agree. If a tower is a fall zone, whether it be 5 houses, 9 houses, 10 houses, I don't think you have to dig too deep to agree that it's a bad location. If someone could get hurt, then it's not a good location. So I cannot wrap myself around the understanding as to why, for all the reasons, and certainly, Peter, you have been very clear that you can't put it up by the firehouse. Why is it okay then to even consider Crandall Street for Norfolk Woodlands? I can't quite figure out why we're so offended by a firehouse, and yet some tiny little piece of land in a residential area is deemed acceptable to you. And that's very concerning, and people are digging deep as to why, and it's concerning. And I just like, again, to bring it to everyone's attention. Why the firehouse, which is a firehouse, is deemed unacceptable to you, but this little patch of land burrowed in the middle of houses is something that we all need to look at. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your opinions. Can we have the next caller, please?
End 7567. You're on the air.
Hi, it's Joe Segilia, and my last name is spelled Segilia. I have a few questions and comments, again, about the town's emergency communications and cell tower proposals. So I'll just read them, and then if you don't mind, if someone or anyone who wants to can respond afterwards. The first one is, did any member of the town board speak with any member of the planning board about the meeting last night, considering the Crandall Norfolk Park as an alternative to the fire district location? The second question is, we understand, Peter, that you were going to meet with the CEO of the Girl Scouts yesterday. Did that meeting happen? Who attended the meeting? And what is the status of those negotiations? The third question is, there have also been reports that the town is currently negotiating with American Tower about the Camp Blue Bay location. Have any of those meetings happened, and what is the status of those negotiations? Fourth question is, we understand the town has also had meetings with AT&T regarding the Crandall Norfolk Park location. What is the status of those negotiations, and does the town have a contract with AT&T or any other cellular provider or any site developer for either a COW or a permanent tower at any location, including the Crandall Norfolk location? And then the last question is, I'm sure you're all aware that the Springs School District location has obviously been mentioned a few times. The bus depot parking lot seems to be a reasonable location for at least a COW and probably a tower. It appears that that location is outside of the fall zone. But the only recent public comment by the town about this location seems to be in the July 7th draft EAF, which says, quote, however, it is not clearly evident that the school district would be receptive to such a proposal. Has the town reached out to the school district since July 7th to determine whether or not the school district would be, quote, receptive to such a proposal? If not, why not? And if not, I would recommend that someone reach out to the school district to get their opinion instead of just assuming that they would not be receptive to that location. Those are all my questions, and I would appreciate it if any of you could answer all of them. Thank you.
Joe, I'll just
take notes, or you have follow-up questions.
Yeah, you've asked a number of questions, but I think they can all be summarized with one particular answer, and that is that the town is continuing to pursue all possible alternatives and options for locating an emergency communications tower in Springs. We've not adopted any location. We've made no decision about that. Discussions are ongoing. We've had discussions with the school. We've had discussions with the fire department. We've had discussions, obviously, with the community in the Crandall Road area. And we've had discussions with the Girl Scout camp, as well as American Tower. And we will continue to pursue the alternatives to find the best location.
Peter, it sounds like you're dodging the questions. I'm not sure why you're not being transparent with the constituents. Did you meet with the CEO of the Girl Scouts yesterday, as was reported in the press?
I did, in fact, and that meeting was conducted with the CEO, with the two town attorneys, and a council person.
Okay, and what was the outcome of those negotiations?
It was an introductory discussion to talk about the various issues, and will require follow-up, and that's all I'm going to say about the topic.
Okay, have you met with anyone from American Tower since July, or any representatives of the town? I've met with
Joe, I haven't met with,
or any of their representatives.
I haven't met with them. There has been some correspondence.
Okay, and
I appreciate you calling, and thank you for your time today.
Okay, well, we hope you don't avoid questions in the future, Peter.
Have a great day, Joe.
Caller ending.
Are there any other callers?
Yes, there are. Unmuting caller ending in 2450.
Hi, this is Stephanie Ippolito. I live on Briarcroft Drive.
Can you mute your TV in the background, Stephanie? Pardon me? Can you mute your TV in the background? I can hear it.
There's no. I'm outside. There's no TV. So I don't know what you're hearing.
Oh, okay. All right. I heard a bit of a feedback. I apologize. Thank you.
I wasn't going to ask this question, but I just wanted to make a comment. But before I make my comment, with that question Joe asked on American Tower, I was unclear about the answer to that. Are there ongoing conversations with the tower company, or how does that process work? Is it first getting the okay from the Girl Scouts and then negotiating with the tower company? I'd like to get some clarity on how that process is moving forward, if possible.
The reason initially that discussions with the Girl Scout, actually was American Tower, ceased was because under their contract, they weren't allowed to meet our requirement in terms of tower height. So we've reached out directly to the girls. Excuse me, can I just finish?
Mm-hmm.
So subsequent to that, we got an indication from the Girl Scouts that they would be willing to extend that height restriction to meet the town's emergency communications needs. We've had a subsequent meeting with them, and we're pursuing that as an alternative.
Okay. So I just wanted to share an interesting conversation I had yesterday with my landscaper. As I said in a previous comment, we moved here a year ago. We've been working with this company owned by a local resident in the Springs for about 8 months. Lovely gentleman, has lived here for 20 years, built his business. He was an engineer in his country prior to moving to the United States, so he's very intelligent. Proudly bought a house here 2 years ago where he lives with his wife, his 2 children, his mother, and his stepfather. We were sitting with him yesterday and shared the news on the cell tower because he was not aware. And when we pulled up a map and we showed him the Crandall site, and he showed us where his house is, well, not in the immediate vicinity, close enough, he was astounded. He had no idea. So he asked me to send him the petition, all the information that I had, so that he could share it with his friends, other immigrant population that have moved here in the Hamptons, many of them in the Springs, many of them homeowners in the Springs. But I'm not sure why, but this population isn't aware of what's going on. And I just find it really heartbreaking that they're going to wake up one morning and potentially have a cell tower hovering over a home that they have slaved away to buy. These are the people that can't afford to say, okay, I lost a couple of $100,000 on my house, I'm out of here. They can't afford to do that. I just would like that to be part of the consideration process, the humanity of the whole situation for those neighbors in the immediate vicinity of the Crandall Norfolk Woods. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do we have any other callers on the line, Jason?
Yes, we do. Unmuting next caller. Caller ending 1131. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Lisa Legalia. I have a few follow-up questions from what Joe was speaking about and what Margaret and Jackie also mentioned. Firstly, I'd like to know, does the town have a contract with AT&T for a cow, that the cow is absolutely going to be placed somewhere? Because I do know that once that contract is in place, that cow will be placed somewhere. So my question is, first, do you have a contract with AT&T for a cow?
So this is really an opportunity for you to comment, but I will answer that question that we don't have any contract with AT&T at this point for a tower or cow in the Springs area.
Okay. I was also wondering, with the whole situation with American Tower Corp., if they, for some reason, are not willing, for some odd reason I wouldn't understand why, would not be willing to build a tower of 185 foot, would the town be able to negotiate with another tower company, or are we in contract with American Tower?
We don't have any contracts with anyone for tower in Springs.
Okay. Okay, because I have a friend that works at Tower Co., and he has in the past negotiated successful deals with the Girl Scouts in Chicago, and he has mentioned to me that if we were willing, we would be able to get his company in, and they would be willing to talk to the Girl Scouts directly and help negotiate this tower, and we have no problem with a 185-foot tower. So if you would need a different tower company, please let me know. I would be happy to share my contact with you.
I appreciate that, Lisa. Thank you for calling.
And
I've just one more question, if I may. Am I still on?
Go ahead, Lisa. Yes, you are, Lisa. Go ahead.
Has anybody from the town board spoken to anyone from the planning board that was on last night? I'm just sure.
I addressed that question earlier on. I can't speak for anyone else, but I know that the planning board is set up as an autonomous board, separate from the political influence of any elected officials, and that's for a reason. And I have full faith in the integrity of that planning board.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lisa.
And we have one more
Any
caller.
other callers? Okay.
And unmuting caller now, 8046. Hello, caller. It seems that they went off of the, they hung up, but I have a new caller who just joined in. Let me just open them up. Hello, caller ending 1936.
Hi, thank you very much. Are we in the public portion? I just was able to get on the meeting.
Yes, we're in the public portion. If you could please state your name for the record.
Sure. Alejandro Rodriguez. I'm a resident of Crandall Street. I believe we are discussing the cell tower application at this time.
So this is actually public comment. Alejandro?
Sure.
This is actually public comments, so you can address any topic you wish.
Great. Thank you. So I would like to address the cell phone issue, cell phone towers. I saw that Eric Shantz signed off on a document on a report yesterday that goes into some detail, including the Crandall Lincoln area, into the board's recommended target areas for consideration. That document is full of errors. I'm noticing there are some very questionable selections with respect to sight lines, which if you stand in those places now, you could never even see where the tower would be because there's houses in the way. So there needs to be revisions there. Again, on behalf of my neighbors, I'm not sure who else has spoken today, but we are deeply committed to opposing a cell tower over this densely populated residential neighborhood. We do think that there is a suitable site in the Girl Scouts area. I understand you are looking at that, and I hope that we are updated as to the progress of those discussions, and if there are any holdups or hang-ups or sticking points, we'd like to know about them as a community. So we would appreciate that, the members of the board. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandro. Appreciate your comments. Any other callers on the line?
One more caller just joined. Hello, caller 8764.
Good afternoon again. Good afternoon. It's David Buda. I'd like to discuss something entirely different. I just want to make an initial anticipatory comment with regard to Resolution 2021-1002. You're going to schedule a public hearing to consider amending the urban renewal maps in Springs Sheet 3, which affects properties on Hawthorne Avenue in the Springs. I just want to alert you to the fact that, and I know this will be the subject of the public hearing, there are numerous nearby residents who are very concerned about the prospect of creating 2 new buildable 10,000 square foot lots, and that the planning board process did not notify them of the proposal, did not give me or anyone else an opportunity to participate, and the entire process is so flawed that it's just horrendous that it is moving forward. I'd like to alert Mr. Jilnicki to the fact that when he was advising the planning board, I think it was 2016, the exact same proposal was determined by him to require subdivision approval because it increases density from 2 urban renewal lots to 3. Also, the attorney for the applicant acknowledged something that is a fact that no one seems to understand or appreciate, that under the urban renewal map process plan that was implemented in 1976, 1977, the creation of any buildable lot of under 12,000 square feet was and still is today required to obtain a area variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals, and that has not happened. I was hopeful that in the several months since this matter was before the planning board, that perhaps someone had wised up to the fact that this is not something that can even be considered by the town board, but apparently that did not happen. It just sat in abeyance for a couple of months, and now it's on your dais, and I guess you're going to reschedule it for a date other than September 16th because you're going to be moving that meeting to the 23rd. So there are many neighbors interested. I wish Mr. Jilnicki would take a close look at this, and I'm sure you all will when you hear from the neighbors and myself at the public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Do we have any other callers on the line, Jason?
Yes, we do. Unmuting right now. And give me a second, just making absolutely sure. No, that caller seemed to have hung up. So all callers that are here have spoken.
Okay, at this point, we'll move on to resolutions. I believe, Kathy, you have some resolutions to offer.
I do, starting with Resolution 2021-981. It's approval of the warrant. Claims total $1,450,672.63, and the utility warrant totals $34,390.76.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
982 is to increase the cap for the law office of Vincent Toomey for PBA matters for 2021. We're looking to increase funding by $80,000, constituting a total of $130,000 for 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
983 is to reimburse notary license fee for D'Artagnan Lyris in the amount of $75.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
I'd like to untable Resolution 2021-914.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
I'd like to make the motion to offer Resolution 2021-914 to adopt a local law to amend Section 240-60. This will be for putting specific weight limits on the area of Accabonac Road between Collins Ave and Floyd Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-984. This is a notice of a public hearing for a CPF acquisition and amend the 2021 Management and Stewardship Plan. The property purported owner is Mahogany Fretboard LLC. Location is 21 Muchmore Lane in the East Hampton Village, Suffolk County Tax Map 301-2-2-35. The reported purchase price is $2,750,000. I'd like to make an amendment on here that we are going to hold the public hearing on September 23rd at 11 a.m.
Do I have a second as amended?
Second is amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
2021-985 is to authorize, approve the 2021 CPF project plan, authorize the adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-986 is a budget modification for buildings and grounds, taking $5,600 from part-time salaries and putting it to budget lines for $600 for motor vehicle repairs and $5,000 for heat.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
987 is a budget modification for aquaculture, taking $2,380 from dental and optic benefits and bringing it to a different budget line for dental and optic benefits for the same amount.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, passed and carried.
988 is a budget modification for the joint fuel facility, where we're taking $475 from maintenance contract software and $1,000 from maintenance equipment, bringing it to budget line for building maintenance and supplies for $1,475, and to increase services in other government village of East Hampton in the amount of $548.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
989 is a budget modification for aquaculture, taking $5,000 from part-time salaries to bring it to $5,000 for light and power.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
2021-990 is to accept the donation of 2 drones from the Hampton Lifeguard Association. The total, the 2 drones were valued at $5,020.36 respectively.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-991 is to accept security and undertaking for urban renewal parcel 14 in EH3. This is for Alexander Van Gerp. It's from Chase Bank for $24,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-992 is to accept a road widening easement in urban renewal parcel 25B and EH17. It's 30 Thomas Avenue. This is, the plan calls for submission of easements by certain property owners to the town for the purpose of permitting, widening, and other improvements to specified roads in the subdivision, which are now to be used to provide access to urban renewal parcels located in them. The town board approves and accepts the easement and directs the town clerk to return the easement to the grantor for the recording in Suffolk County Clerk. And the grantor is Patrick J. Cantwell and trustees. And that's it. That's what you need to know.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-993 is to accept a road widening easement 25C. We just did it for 25B. This is in EH17. It's 32 Thomas Avenue. All the same conditions apply, including the grantor's Patrick J. Cantwell.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-994 is to approve affordable apartment at 6 Berryman Street in East Hampton. And I'm going to read parts of this so
the public also understands what we're doing. The town has received an application to install an affordable attached apartment in the dwelling at 6 Berryman Street. It's located at Whalebone Woods in our affordable housing development. The town building inspector has found that it meets the requirements of the building code and the town's affordable housing requirements. The applicant has provided the required affordable apartment covenants and restrictions for an affordable accessory apartment. The existing covenants and restrictions for Whalebone Woods housing development do not permit the rental of all or part of the premises which were sold under the affordable housing program. The town board recognizes the need for affordable housing, and he's determined to waive the limitations against rental of the premises or parts thereof, provided the property owner maintains compliance with terms and conditions of the affordable apartment covenants and restrictions. The town board hereby approves the installation of an affordable apartment at the premises at 6 Berryman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-995 is a budget modification and sanitation, and this is moving from one budget line and New York State DEC payments in the amount of $500 to office expenses in the amount of $500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-996 has an amendment in it to retain the services of Rebecca DeCipio to work in the tax receiver's office to assist in tax preparation on an interim basis and to provide training and guidance. And the cost of the services would not exceed $10,000.
So are you amending the resolution?
Yeah, I said it's as amended.
Okay. Do I have a second as amended?
Second as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-997 is a budget modification from the tax receiver's office, moving money in the amount of $5,000 from part-time salaries to printing in the amount of $5,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2021-998 is a notice to bidders for work at the airport fuel farm. The sealed bids will be received no later than 3 o'clock on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. And the specifications are available and can be obtained from the purchasing department by emailing Jeannie Carosa at easthamptonny.gov or purchasing at easthamptonny.gov or by calling their telephone numbers, which are on our website. And each proposal has to be submitted in a sealed envelope, and they'll be received no later than 3 p.m. on September 23rd and opened. This is for compliance work and regulatory work required in the airport fuel farm. We're looking for companies to come in to do that work, which are specialized to do it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 999 is to reschedule the September 16th, 2021 town board meeting, whereas town board meeting scheduled for September 16th falls on Yom Kippur. Therefore, we will be rescheduling the meeting to September 23rd at the same time.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1000 is Carl Fisher House and Annex Property, scheduled public hearing for historic designation. And I believe we need to amend that date as well to September 23rd at 11 a.m. or as soon thereafter as possible.
As
And I'll
amended.
just state at this point, the governor just signed an amendment to the open meetings law, allowing for virtual meetings to take place, and we will be returning to virtual meetings this Tuesday. And so I just want to make sure that we have the necessary language reflected in all the scheduled public hearings, John.
I don't believe we do, but we'll have to add.
Carol, so if we can amend those to reflect that these will be, I guess we have to go back to the previous one. It just occurred to me.
Well, pretty much, the legislation was very much similar to the executive order, so we can pretty much use the same language and the same process. So we'll put that in the notices.
So do I have a second as amended?
Okay, I just want to make
For the
sure that the
23rd?
public understands what we're doing here.
So we've been having live meetings again. We will go back to the format that we had prior to the executive order which suspended the open meetings law. We've been operating in a way that the public has to be able to appear in person. That will be suspended again, and we will take calls on the phone via Zoom. We won't be meeting together. We'll be separate, and just as we did through much of COVID, we're going back in that direction because of the threat of the Delta variant, which is significant within the community at this time. It's spreading rapidly, and people need to really take this seriously. It's being understood now that vaccinations give you significant protection against serious disease and death. In fact, I think over 99% of the people who are dying now from COVID are unvaccinated, but people who are vaccinated with underlying conditions are at risk for serious illness, and the efficacy of the vaccines seem to be waning over time, and therefore booster shots are being recommended 8 months after the last dose of your vaccine. For us, with our vaccination center that we put together, that means that starting roughly in November, people who were vaccinated through the town pod would be eligible for a second dose. Again, this is changing advisement, so this is the advisement that we're getting at this time. And we'll keep the public informed as to developments there, but I just want to let everybody know that beginning on September 7th, town board meetings will go back to the remote virtual town board meetings. You can still call in, as many chose to do today. We only had one person appearing in person in the meeting hall. And again, this is largely due to the concerns over Delta variant. So I have a second as amended on the purchase of the Aiken property.
No, that's
That's for the historic designation.
Historic designation, excuse me.
A second is amended, is what I said, yes.
Resolution 1001.
Wait, you didn't have us
Oh,
vote.
sorry. Got thrown off by my...
Yeah, sorry.
And all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Passed and carried. Resolution 1001 is Aiken Associates LLC, scheduled public hearing for CPF acquisition and to amend the M&S Management Stewardship Plan. And it should say the 2021 Stewardship Plan, or are we still on 19 we're resolution?
We haven't
accepted that one yet.
adopted the
We haven't adopted it yet, so it is the 2019 still. And that would be for
Right, David?
5.
We just did. The management stewardship plan has been adopted, and we just did it.
We just adopted it.
Just adopted, so it really should say 2021, as I thought. And that would be for $5,568,500. And that would be scheduled for the 23rd of September.
So the 23rd is also an amendment. Okay.
Yes.
Second is amended.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1002 is notice of public hearing to amend map URP 11 and 13 in SP3. This will also be amended to reflect a date of the 23rd of September.
So David Buda had some questions on this. John, do you want to?
I don't have answers to the questions at this
So
point. but
we
I
can review this in a work session prior to the public hearing.
Yeah, what would be helpful is the email that we got from the planning department relaying the planning board's memo and the application that was made for the modification. The map was never attached, so we didn't get the map when it was sent to us. It was emailed, I can forward it to you, John. It was emailed to us on May 6th.
Do you want to schedule this, or do you want to hold it?
I
for-
want to hold it.
I would like to hold it as
I'll
well.
hold it, yeah.
So I'll get more information before
Okay.
you
So-
schedule it.
So we'll table that motion.
Maybe we don't need to.
Motion
Maybe
to
we need
table.
to do something further.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that'll be tabled. Moving on, Resolution 1003, appoint automotive equipment operator to the Highway Department, Connor Larcombe, and that would be at an hourly rate of $21.16 for an annual salary of $44,024.45.
Second.
And that's retroactive to August 30th. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1004 is a list appointment for grants analysis, Jennifer Campbell. That would be at an hourly rate of $25.77, $53,608.26 annually, grade 24, 40-hour work week, and that's effective September 20th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 2021-1005 is a resolution to terminate a part-time employee in the ordinance department,
Second.
and that's effective retroactive August 29th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1006 is payout on the resignation of Tatiana Gutierrez, and that is at payroll account for looks like 7.442 vacation hours and 17.6250 compensatory hours at $30.65 per hour for a gross total of $768.52.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1007 is travel reimbursement for Ryan Hogan, and that is in the amount of $36.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1008 is Pheasant Woods Lane Road Improvements, Engineering Plans and Specifications, Bid Assistance and Construction Support, LK McLean Associates PC, and that would be at a total cost of $19,900.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 2021-1009 is to extend the agreement, specialized bus service for the South Fork Commuter Connection, Hampton Hopper LLC, and that would be at a, let's see, where is it, per diem of $1,222.85, which represents 1.7% increase for the 2020 to 2021 rated base upon the referenced CPI adjustment for total cost of the town not to exceed $169,976.15. And those commuter trains will begin running on the 7th, I believe, of September. We're very glad to see that service reinstated. That should help very much with the commuting back and forth to the East End, South Fork region.
Yeah, the schedule is on our website, and also if anyone needs a schedule, they can, if they don't, it's up, it's first thing on the landing page on the website, but I also will send it to anyone who needs it.
Thank you, Sylvia. So,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1010 is to RFP EH 2021-108, Professional Gas P75, OPEB, accrual services proposal, and this is available September 2nd, 2021. The proposal dates due September 23rd, 2021.
I read the word open and said it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. 1011 is notice to bidders EH 21034, printing of miscellaneous forms, September 2021. It's available September 2nd and is due back on September 23rd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 1012 is accept bid number EH 21029, Accabonac Harbor Stormwater Abatement Rain Garden Installation, Green Velvet Landscape Contractors Incorporated.
Second.
And I'm sorry, that's at a total cost of $73,675.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. 1013 is to donate cars to the Montauk Fire Department, and whereas the fire department is conducting training and has requested donations of vehicles, and whereas our town fleet managers determined these vehicles are of no particular value. We are giving them 3 different vehicles for training exercises.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. 1014 is a budget modification for civil defense, and this is to address the response that we had to Hurricane Henri. And this is to move appropriate unreserved surplus in the amount of $4,000 and increase the civil defense contractor costs in the amount of $4,000 for sand placement at beach ends.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Resolution 2021-1015 is budget modification of natural resources, and this is to move from unreserved surplus in the amount of $25,000 to habitat management in the same amount.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Are there any other resolutions to offer?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried. Stay safe, everyone. Please be wearing your masks when you go out in public indoors, particularly the Delta variant is here. And we will be going back to remote meetings on September 2nd. And you can still call on 7th. I said 2nd? 7th.
Yeah, no, 7.
Apologies.
Yep.
And thank you very much, Jason.